Alright, quick update on green Metaverse token. So the STEPN ecosystem is pumping today. You can see GMT specifically up 46%, and I did just make a video on green Satoshi token, and we are up 24%. If you are looking for green Satoshi token analysis as long as GMT, then check out my channel. I do provide both, but let's jump right into what's going on green Metaverse token. If we hop over to the daily to start with, you can see, fairly decent pump. It seems like, okay, to be honest, we had a wick down to this previous chop range before we did increase, so I guess this makes sense where we bottomed. We didn't necessarily bottom on any Fibonacci's of any interest whatsoever, and technically speaking, we have invalidated this uptrend, so I would still just be slightly cautious. Especially with what's going on in the general markets. I see a lot of people getting very euphoric today. A lot of people getting very euphoric yesterday over these altcoin bounces, and I would just like to show you, Bitcoin is still making lower lows. Bitcoin is not above your EMA ribbons. Bitcoin is still in this capitulation zone, and also the dollar is rallying. The reason why altcoins pumped so hard yesterday is because of this. The dollar took about a 12 to 16 hour breather where it just kind of capitulated, or I say capitulated, I mean it really kind of just took a nap while it was resetting. But all respect to the dollar right now, the dollar's above the all-time high, so it can afford to take these breaks, have a breather, come back down while the moving averages come up. And what happened yesterday is, because of this, the entire stock market was able to rally, including, your move to earns, green Metaverse token, green Satoshi token, FitFi, all of those lots were rallying. And you can see, hopping over to the daily, I'm going to show it on the NASDAQ to show what the stock market did, but this is what everyone is getting out of bed for. The crypto markets move fast. Everyone forgets that yesterday, it was everyone was in bear market mode, and then today everyone's back in bull market mode. The greed comes back. Everyone wants to trade altcoins. Everyone wants to make another 100x. Everyone wants to put thousands of dollars into, move to earn cryptocurrencies that aren't fully developed, etc, etc, etc. I'm just speaking my mind. People forget that in March and April, when we were rallying extremely bullish, this was just a lower low for the stock markets before we capitulated, and it got a lot uglier. So this one green candle in the stock market is really why you saw this rally coming into yesterday. So I would definitely be very cautious. I would definitely advise caution while trading in these markets. And as far as I can tell, GMT has not broken bullish yet. We were previously able to trade this so well. We got in very early, and we made 1000% profit on our trade on green Metaverse token, all recorded on my YouTube videos. And we rode this the whole way it was on these EMA ribbons, and we literally sold as soon as they flipped bearish. So as soon as the 4-hourly EMAs retested around about $3.46, we broke below them. That was warning sign number one. We came back up to them, we back tested them, they fell below, we broke down below, confirmed it as resistance multiple times, and then you saw the EMA ribbons flip bearish. Since then, we've been sitting on the sidelines for green Metaverse token. So if we do decide to hop back into the market right now, we're getting in for a 51% discount. And this is what I'm talking about. People forget about these macro moves. You can say that it's bearish at $3.50 and it will come all the way down to 80 cents, and then it will bounce back up to $1.70, and everyone will be like, oh, the bull market's back, GMT's found its bottom, it's time for me to put my life savings into move to earn cryptocurrencies. But people forget, you look at the trend is your friend until the end. If we put this on an inverse chart, I always like doing this because sometimes it takes away some of the if you look at this chart and you're emotionally invested into GMT, or if you're emotionally invested in a different cryptocurrency, then you look at it and your brain has all of these emotional thoughts that can cloud your judgment, because you're so used to looking at this chart and your emotions are brought into the chart. Your emotions are telling you this needs to happen because this is what needs to happen because I'm emotionally invested. But if we pretend this is a completely different crypto, we flip the chart, you can see, you know, we're in a bullish uptrend right now, supported by your EMA ribbon. So, you know, I would say the trend is your friend on this one until we do break below some of these important ranges. Then nothing's really changed. I mean, we've got a huge trend line here, so it wouldn't be completely out of the blue to return to it. That could mean we could come down to $2.35 before having a reversal. I think the more likely scenario is we don't make it out of the EMA ribbons and we come down to $2.05. I feel like these are, in my opinion, the two scenarios that we could be facing with green Metaverse token right now. And I could be completely wrong. I'm going to flip the chart back over, and you can see that, you know, when we look at this, if we do come up to these regions, you know, even if we come up to the high here, this would still be a lower high from here, and this would still be a lower high from here, and it would still be a lower high from here. And, you know, bear in mind, we have only recently just flipped this huge macro trend line on green Metaverse token. So to have us come back up to this and confirm it as resistance before we roll back down would not be the most outlandish thing, in my opinion, especially considering how everyone is getting out of bed for the stock market rally yesterday. And, you know, like I said, you might watch my green Metaverse token videos and you don't care whatsoever about the stock market, but the fact of the matter is the stock market is why we rallied. I hate it as well, but Bitcoin follows the stock market. It is what it is. We have to deal with what we got to deal with. But the stock market rallied yesterday after, you know, mass capitulation. And it's not like we haven't seen this before. We've seen bear markets for the stock market before, like here, where we broke down. I mean, I'm calling this a bear market. This is really like a mini bear market for the stock market. But you can see we had these times where we swung back up very heavily before we capitulated. You know, the stock market loves breaking down, up, down, up, down, up, down. It loves to chop out the people who care about short-term moves, and it rewards people who go for these macro moves. And like I'm saying, the crypto market is like that, but on steroids. If you are emotionally trading these, I'm telling you, you're probably going to get chopped out of absolutely everything. I've told you my trading plan. While Bitcoin is capitulating, while Bitcoin is in these, you know, very dangerous times, I am only buying Bitcoin between the levels of 34,000 and 29,000. And if Bitcoin capitulates below 29,000, I made a video yesterday called Bitcoin Macro Supports, talking about the levels where I would look to accumulate Bitcoin in the eventuality that we did break down and capitulate below 29,000. I don't believe, no, none of those regions have yet hit. So I haven't bought any more Bitcoin since my buy is at 29,000, but I'll definitely be looking to pick some up around about 22 and 20 if we do go back to those regions. So for green Metaverse token, the trend is your friend until the end. Bear in mind, it was literally a day or two ago that we confirmed the 786 as invalidated. It looks like, you know, once again, we could be coming up to the 618. If we get rejected from $2.06, I'm telling you, that is the nail in the coffin that is going to move green Metaverse token back down. So like I said, this is just my trading plan. I'm not in altcoins right now. I'm really only in on Bitcoin. You know, I've seen this before. You enter a bear market. I mean, let's look at what happened on Litecoin, but you can see you had these times where you rallied 60%, 62%, 58%, 139%, 67, 68% before, you know, inevitably people stopped running out of money to buy the dip. I still think we're in, you know, a phase, like, I feel like we're in here or we're in here, and people have not been punished enough for their greed. And what do I mean by that? I mean that people think about it from like a logical perspective. If you told yourself like a year or two ago that you would be spending hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars on an NFT of a shoe, so you can, you know, you can participate in this move to earn ecosystem, I'm sure you would have slapped yourself across the face, because I can tell you, you know, for example, I've purchased NFTs, and you know, I've purchased some NFTs that do cost like a fairly decent amount of money. And if I told myself like 2 years ago, you know, you'd be buying, you know, a single NFT of a monkey that cost X amount of money, I would have slapped myself across the face and, you know, bought a PC with that money instead. People are still being greedy, is what I'm trying to say. You know, we're seeing projects that are running on pure hype. This move to earn thing, you know, nobody wants to innovate. Everyone just wants to copy and ride a wave right now, and this is what the bear market is going to flush out, in my opinion. So we've seen situations like this. I do feel like we're in a situation like this where people still think it's time to buy the dip. People still have money to buy the dip, and until no one has money to buy the dip, until everything has been absolutely capitulated and no one has any more capital to buy back in, that is when I think that this, you know, chop bear market type scenario could play out. And I could be wrong on this. You know, like I said, if we do have a trend reversal, I'll be the first to let you know. I might even be interested in getting in on a trend reversal, but looking at the data, you know, we're still trapped below a lot of these important ranges. So be very, very cautious. A lot of people are getting super euphoric. I love being a contrarian trader. A lot of people don't understand the contrarian perspective. And, you know, for example, a lot of people understand the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index, right? You know, it makes sense to buy Bitcoin as the fear comes in. Well, what does that mean? That means that you're buying when others are fearful. That's a contrarian indicator. And it's the same when everyone's greedy. When the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index is like at 90 or 100, it's probably time to sell because everyone's being too greedy. We're still seeing all of this greed in the market. I'm still seeing people in my Discord, people messaging me saying, should I buy the dip on Luna? It could go up 100x, it could go up 1000x. So I'm going to put, you know, all of my money in for this month into this coin that is plummeting off the face of this earth. Should I buy an NFT of a shoe? Should I buy an NFT of a monkey? Should I buy an NFT of a raccoon with a cigarette in its mouth? Like, the greed has not left the market. I don't think we have reached peak capitulation. Could be completely wrong. And also, if Bitcoin closes a weekly candle above 29,000, then, you know, that might very much be the bottom. But I would still be expecting, if this is the bottom, to at least kind of chop around here for a bit longer before we do make it out. Like I said, this is just my trading plan. I'm letting you know what I'm going to be doing between these regions. And at this moment in time, interest rates going up, stock market's dumping, the dollar is pumping. Doesn't seem like the right time to buy altcoins for me. That's just my opinion. Let me know what you plan on doing down below. But yeah, keep an eye on these resistances: 334, $2.05, and also $2. These are going to be some huge areas to get above if GMT wants to break back bullish. That's all I've got for you. Best of luck. Cowboy out. Peace.